What if one of the strongest connections in One Piece has been hiding in plain sight all along? We all know about Luffy and Boa Hancock. We laugh at Sanji's endless flirting. But what if the real silent bond has always been between Zoro and Nami? A bond so quiet, so subtle, that most fans simply overlook it. But once you notice it, you'll never see their interactions the same way again. And today, we are decoding every subtle signal, every glance, every moment where Oda might have been telling us something much deeper. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll want to rewatch entire arcs with a brand new perspective. Zoro is not a man of words. He doesn't waste time with speeches, and he definitely doesn't chase romance. But his actions? They speak louder than anyone else's. From the earliest arcs, Zoro shows a unique form of protectiveness toward Nami, one that feels different from the way he interacts with anyone else. Arlong Park. Zoro is chained, stabbed, bleeding out. He should be thinking only about survival. And yet, when Nami appears, Zoro gives her a smile. A reckless, bloody smile that says, "Don't worry about me." This moment is often overshadowed by Luffy's big entrance, but it's Zoro who gives Nami that first spark of reassurance. Whiskey Peak. Nami confronts Zoro after he wipes out an entire village of bounty hunters. She's furious, demanding answers. Most people would expect Zoro to snap back, to get defensive, but instead, he listens. Calm, patient, respectful. For Zoro, who usually dismisses others, this is huge. Skypiea and beyond. In several arcs, Zoro phrases like "leave it to me" or "don't worry" often directly to Nami. Tiny lines, easy to miss, but put together, they create a pattern. Zoro consistently positions himself as her shield. And then there are the visual cues. Oda doesn't waste panels. In tense moments, Zoro's gaze flickers towards Nami. He checks her safety first. Not Sanji, not Usopp, not even Luffy. It's quiet, but it's there. And this brings us to the real question. Was Oda planting these seeds intentionally, or have we all been ignoring a subtle relationship dynamic that's been there from the very start? But the story isn't just about Zoro, because if you really pay attention, Nami responds, and her responses are just as subtle, but maybe even more revealing. Unlike her loud, comedic reactions to Sanji or her playful banter with Usopp, Nami's dynamic with Zoro is different. It's quieter, more serious, almost unconscious. Alabasta. When chaos breaks out, Nami instinctively moves closer to Zoro's side. It's not a big gesture, it's a survival instinct, but it shows where her trust lies when things get messy. Skypiea. Zoro takes command in life or death battles. And Nami? She doesn't question him, she doesn't argue, she follows. No hesitation. That trust is unspoken, but absolute. Enies Lobby. When the crew is split, Nami relies on Zoro's strength more than once, sometimes without even asking. It's instinctual. And then there are the reactions. When Sanji flirts, Nami rolls her eyes or gets annoyed. When Usopp brags, she teases. But when Zoro speaks, she listens. When Zoro acts, she adapts. And during the most stressful, painful moments, like Thriller Bark, her connection to Zoro becomes undeniable. When Zoro sacrifices himself to Kuma for the crew, everyone is shocked. But look closely at Nami. Her reaction isn't loud or exaggerated. It's quiet devastation. She understands, maybe more than anyone else, the weight of what Zoro just did. So ask yourself, why does Oda draw these subtle contrasts? Why does Nami's body language shift so clearly when it comes to Zoro? Now, let's take a step back. Is this about romance? About some secret love story? Not necessarily. What we're uncovering here is something even deeper, a bond built on trust, balance, and survival. Zoro isn't like Sanji. He doesn't flirt. He doesn't need attention. His connection to Nami is built through respect, through silence, through the small moments where words aren't even needed. Nami, the strategist. Zoro, the shield. Together, they form a balance. Intellect and instinct. Plan and execution. Brain and sword. This bond might not be written as romance, but it is undeniably one of the strongest connections within the Straw Hat crew. And Oda? He doesn't waste time on dynamics that don't matter. If this bond exists, it's for a reason. And that reason could become critical in the Final Saga. Because when the world crumbles, when trust is the only thing that keeps the crew alive, Zoro and Nami's silent understanding might be the glue that holds everything together. Fans have debated this for years. Some claim Zoro and Nami are the hidden romance of One Piece. Others believe it's purely platonic, a professional bond. But no matter which side you're on, the evidence is undeniable. Oda chooses to show us these moments. And in a story where every panel matters, that choice speaks volumes. Look at the Final Saga setup. Zoro, the protector of Luffy's dream. Nami, the one who guides them across the seas. It's not far-fetched to imagine that their trust in each other will decide the fate of the crew in the battles to come. So here's my challenge to you. Rewatch Arlong Park, Whiskey Peak, Alabasta, Skypiea, Enies Lobby, Thriller Bark. But this time, watch with new eyes. Look for the gazes, the mutterings, the unconscious steps towards each other. Because maybe, just maybe, Oda has been weaving this silent bond into the story all along. Do you believe Zoro and Nami share a hidden romance? Or is it a platonic trust deeper than love itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's decode it together. And remember, sometimes the loudest connections aren't the ones with fireworks and drama, but the ones whispered in silence.